Hello and welcome to the MarketingBitz webinar. Today's webinar is titled Turning Online Traffic into Paying Customers and will be brought to you by our guest presenter, Rob Ravensburger from Agendize. I just have a few quick announcements before we get started. So next slide, please. All right, so the first announcement is that this webinar will be archived on our website, MarketingBitz.com. You can access it by clicking on the Webinars tab at the top and then clicking the View Past Webinars button pictured in the photo here. Our site also features a variety of resources for you to learn the fundamentals of digital marketing, so feel free to look around. On MarketingBitz, we regularly release reports covering a variety of digital marketing topics as well. So you can download these reports by clicking on the reports page on MarketingBitz. It's in the navigation. More reports will be coming soon, so keep your eyes open for that. Next slide, please. And in other news, our 2017 Bootcamp series is underway. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Bootcamp, our MarketingBitz Bootcamps are one-day digital marketing intensives across the country where small businesses can come to learn the fundamentals of digital marketing from experts at companies like Google, Yelp, YP, and more. Our upcoming Bootcamps will be in Phoenix on March 22nd and Atlanta April 26th, which the dates are here. These are both Wednesdays. So to register, all you have to do is go to marketingbitz.com/bootcamp, and which is also, the link is on the slide, and click register now. And don't forget to enter the promo code FEBWEB, also on the slide, when you're registering for 50% off. So that's everything that I have to say. So with that, let's pass over to Rob for today's webinar.
Hey, thanks, Becky. So I'm Robert Ravensburger, Marketing Manager for North America at Agendize. And today's webinar, as Becky so eloquently brought it up, was called Turning Online Traffic into Paying Customers. So a lot of you may be doing something to bring online traffic towards you or generate more leads online for your business, or just make sure that you're listed in the right places so you don't miss out on people who might be looking for you. But within those activities, you need to do other things to maximize your ability to create customers out of that traffic. So this is what that webinar, this is what this webinar will pretty well cover, and we'll start going through it now. So just to have a touch point here, our focus is really customer engagement. So we try to enhance a business's ability to turn their online visitors into real transactions. Now, this relates to your business because, like some of the things I might have already mentioned, you could be publishing a website, you could be on Facebook, Instagram, other social media, Twitter, Snapchat even. You could be listing your business on Google Maps or with a Google My Business profile. You could be running an email marketing newsletter, curating a blog. You could even be doing search engine optimization, so maybe you're targeting specific keywords, or you're trying to structure your website in a broader way that appeals to more types of customers or targets certain verticals depending on what type of business you're in. And you could be buying ads on these same channels where you're trying to feature your profiles like Google, Facebook, or more. In addition to that, you could be sponsoring content or posts on local blogs and websites. And you could be doing more creative things. You could be guest posting on other people's blogs. You could be sponsoring events and then sharing a hashtag online or something like that. And all of these are really demanding activities. They all require a lot of focus and discipline in order to execute them properly and understand how they help your online traffic grow. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people want to understand what customers they're actually getting out of it. And very often, the amount of conversion or calls to action, or to put it in simpler terms, the amount of people who are genuinely interested in your business from after they've interacted with the content that you've created or shown to them can be, lacking, and you really want to find ways to maximize that. So you want to think about what you've been doing right, first of all, and then where you can improve. Now, 80% of North Americans are online through mobile devices. 50% of local searches from smartphones result in a store visit within 24 hours. And 78% of mobile searches for local business information result in a purchase. Now, this is all within the span of how customers or consumers might be using Google or even other search engines to find local business. And these are very different behaviors from, say, going in the classified section of your local newspaper, or like to find a locksmith, or think of an example local service that people always turn to time and time again. And while you're maximizing traffic and presenting yourself in all of these fora, you still need to maximize the revenue that it ultimately creates. So what goes into the piggy bank, as I like to think about it. So customer engagement adds a critical layer to this. Now, let's say you're creating a landing page on your website for an event promoting a discount or something like that, and you want people to come. Firstly, they come and they visit the landing page, and if they just have to fill out a form to receive their discount or receive an appointment or something like that, well, that's all well and good. That's very engaging, but there are things that you can do to upgrade the level of interactivity that they feel from their engagement with you, from that landing page or piece of content. And they're relatively simple apps. They're easy to incorporate. So this could include something like booking an appointment, and with our online scheduling, you can see something like real-time availabilities, automated reminders, different features that really upgrade the experience and take it beyond a simple form or a simple appointment request. And then people can also request to receive a free call from their business just by putting in their phone number, and you can have an app that automatically connects you. You can also incorporate a live chat, or even a more dynamic form that responds to changes you make in a back-end dashboard, while you don't have to do any up-to-date coding on the front end, or pay your web developer, or simply modify maybe the software that you're already using. All of these elements are fundamentally unified under the term of call to action. So it depends all on how you call your customers to action. And this, can be taken quite literally. I have a definition here for you, just so you have something really grounded in it, because it is a technical term. But it's any sort of engagement, any sort of interaction that prompts customers to connect with your business in a meaningful way. And it could be anywhere on your website. It could be in a piece of marketing you publish or something else like that. And in order to do this at another level, you need to incorporate more sophisticated calls to action. So just as maybe some of you are incorporating websites, Facebook pages, and different elements, email marketing, different elements that improve your web traffic, you're playing into great behaviors that consumers are already adopting, but you're also looking to take that to another level. And that can really be done because consumers are looking for very specific interactions when they go online. We have data that shows that 61% of consumers now either expect or appreciate online scheduling from their local businesses. 61% of consumers want a call from your business during their path to purchase. 70% of mobile searches might already be using some kind of click-to-call to contact a business. And almost 80% of consumers say live chat improves their opinion of the business. These are really simple ways to make a meaningful impact on customers who are visiting you online, and can be turned into paying customers and essentially allow you to turn that traffic into real revenue. Now, here's an example of how you can incorporate some of these apps. So here we have scheduling that's accessible from a Book Now button on a Facebook page. Right there, you'll see it in the headline, and we'll show you an example of that later. There's also a website that includes online scheduling, as you navigate through it, so it's a really convenient process for customers. And then in this case, this business has used an app builder to publish their own app for their business, and then they've put a scheduling widget right there in their app, all by themselves, no developer help, nothing like that. That's really brought them more customers because they're able to say, well, I have the app, I can book this business right away. There's nothing stopping me from getting an appointment when I need it and when I want it in the most convenient way. So here, I'll just show you a little demo of how some of these tools might work and why they're having such an impact on customers. So here we have a little demo website of a hair salon, and you can see different interactions are built in there. You have the ability to book an appointment, to request a free call, or to go through to a dynamic form. And I'll show you a bit about booking the appointment. So here you have a simple widget incorporated, and you can select this process however you want. But think about how already we're more engaged with this website than we would be with just something that has a phone number or an email to reach out to, or a page, a contact page with a form. We're already interacting with this business, and from the business's perspective, I mean, you see a price here. Well, this customer is already deeply considering paying for a service and really becoming a real paying customer from some online traffic. So here we have some real-time availabilities incorporated. That means that the staff members who are on the other side of this business, and this is just a demo, so they don't have lives outside because they're fictional, but they would be able to block out areas where they already have an appointment, or areas where they have another calendar issue, or a calendar event that prevents them from being able to work at that time. So here we'll just confirm the appointment, and we'll see that. And you can do different things, even proceed to payment immediately, print the confirmation, and so on. And then when we go back, let me just head back to the presentation here. Oh, there's my keynote, sorry. You can also see this appointment having been created. Right there in the schedule that we have for this business. Oh, sorry, my apologies, this is the wrong account. So here we are, and this should be the correct one. And you'll see, this little fictional domain put in, but there it is, easy for you to manage as a business and easy to engage with. And you can also register whether this appointment is completed, in progress, a no-show, anything like that. And it stores a relevant client history and other information that gives you richer engagement with the customer while they're also engaging in a more rich way through your website. And just to take another moment, we'll take a look at this through the Facebook page, and we'll also take a look at this through installation, just to show you an example of how easy that is. So here, you can see we've got a little Facebook page, and this is just a simple demo, so don't worry about being too compliant. You may have better practices than this, but here you can have a booking option immediately available. You can also use one of the Book Now calls to action that Facebook offers to really make it an efficient process. And here we go through the same booking process. It's a super easy installation. And if you take a look, hold on, we'll just make sure we're on the right staff member. You'll notice that that 4 o'clock booking that I made before is already taken up. Now that was without any approval or integration by my end of the business. So it's a pretty seamless process. And then in here, we have an example website builder. We're using Weebly for this demo. So let's say you wanted to add another appointment booking button. Now here we've configured a little custom HTML. Your business might use different types of appointment booking buttons or a certain type of CSS, something like that, and that's fairly customizable. But here is an example of how easily you can incorporate your booking button right into your website. So here we just copy this code, and we put it, I believe I missed a little piece there. Well, we do have, and let's just see that show up in our new website. So here, it's easy enough to just put that there and then make it a simple call to action that increases your customer's ability to interact versus just having an email, just having a form to fill out, things that are relatively simplistic and don't necessarily stand out to customers who want more instant answers when they're finding you online. Just a note on other features, for instance, that Facebook app is just a couple clicks to install. You can have an iframe, so basically a widget just right in there instead of having a booking button. And here you even have your own landing page for your online scheduling. Instead of putting it on your website, you can simply share this page and you've got a lot of convenient information about your business. So you can really elevate your web presence by increasing the interactivity that people have with these customer engagement style calls to action. Obviously, you can do an email signature and also a QR code, which is great for physical marketing. Here we have an example of a free callback button, and that's having issues loading, but maybe we'll be able to get back to that later. The point being, your business is already not so far from enhancing their ability or its ability to engage meaningfully with its customers instead of simply getting traffic and hoping it converts into real business. So online scheduling, we use it as an example, is one of the most powerful of these kind of tools, and you can see up to a 40% increase in appointments booked, an 80% reduction in no-shows, and you can even save as much as 75% of the time you spend managing appointments, in addition to eliminating double bookings because of that two-way calendar sync we talked about, which gives you those real-time availabilities. And to bring back a user that we brought up earlier, this is a hair salon who's deployed Agendize's online scheduling, and she stated it this way. I mean, she understands that we live in an era of an online engagement, and sending mail, knocking on the door doesn't work anymore. Customers want those immediate answers. And then what a business owner always wants is an easy, independent way to deploy it themselves. I mean, this audience really strikes me as a do-it-yourself kind of crowd, and that's justified. You don't necessarily have the most resources or the most expertise, but you have the most enthusiasm and the most desire to get your business going and get it ahead, and that's what really makes a difference in this environment, and especially in the world of digital marketing. So strong online engagement with a tool like online scheduling can give a great first impression in the end. And that's really where we see the benefit or the increased conversion come from. And it has knock-on effects. It saves you time. It brings people closer to your business, and it makes them more familiar with how you do your work. Now, obviously, just incorporating these tools isn't the do-all, be-all, and end-all of what you're going to do with digital marketing. There's a lot of different things you still need to learn after you maximize conversion. Obviously, you can increase your traffic and then try to maximize your conversion with tools like customer engagement, and then maybe you go back to trying to get more traffic, and then you can go then back again to maybe trying to place your engagement tools the right way, or deploy newer calls to action, do different things to just maximize both the volume and quality of your web traffic and turn as much of it into real customers and have a really strong growing business. So these are some of the websites I love, or blogs that I love to refer to when I want to learn more about digital marketing and just really understand it from the perspective of a small business or any sort of business that really needs to make a difference for itself. So HubSpot's blog is great, and they talk a lot about inbound marketing specifically and sales strategies that really help any business grow because they're very customer oriented and they want to make a meaningful impact on sort of, what customers are already out there that you're not thinking about. So that's a great place to start because it's sort of built in almost. MarketingBitz is a fantastic resource because not only does it do webinars like this, but it really breaks down issues in a very topical way, whereas others may put things in a more sophisticated light than they need to be, or simply not communicate basics that not everybody in a certain audience may know and needs to catch up on. Small Biz Trends is another great website for tips on how to grow a small business, and they reach beyond digital marketing. I mean, they can talk about payroll practices or customer loyalty or different apps you want to use for your own productivity. And then Smart Hustle is another great blog. That's more for an entrepreneurial mindset. There's some practical tips, but there are a lot of great interviews with for instance, cast members from Shark Tank or other business shows, or maybe it's reality TV, but there is a lot of good lessons in the experience of other successful people, and certainly every business person wants to learn from others instead of learning for themselves the hard way. And of course, we'd include Agendize's blog there. We really focus on delivering key information to our customers and giving them insightful strategies on how to grow and how to, project more warmth and more engagement to every one of the customers that may come across their web presence and beyond. So to sum this all up, I mean, you really need to take action on improving your customer engagement and turning that online traffic into real paying customers. Now, the best way to consider this is considering where you should start with customer engagement. And the way we would break it down is, I would recommend you think about what type of services your business offers, and that will dictate to a certain extent what kind of apps or customer engagement tools you can deploy to really make a difference. So, for instance, a gym might schedule group workout classes, which means you need a group or a resource-based scheduling, whereas a retail store is focused on driving people to the store, communicating information quickly, and being able to send out email marketing, for instance. So maybe you don't want scheduling for that kind of store. You would want something that allows you to get free calls or a live chat that allows you to have a really discreet, quick conversation saying, hey, I heard that you guys had the new Nike shoe in stock. Is that still the case? And they're like, yeah, come on over. Then from there, you want to think about how customers discover your business. So we think a lot about customers discovering you online, but they could be finding you online, and maybe they're getting a mix of both. Maybe they're seeing a pamphlet for you somewhere, or they're seeing a pamphlet and then seeing an ad when they search for the local barbershop or the local auto, fixer in their neighborhood. And then from those impressions, they end up coming to you. But don't you want apps or customer engagement tools that will meet them at both ends and make sure you get a picture of where everybody's coming from? Well, that's sort of what we focused on with our QR code, and others do it too, but we want to make sure that everybody has all the accesses they need without sacrificing something in order to do something new like customer engagement and like practicing more enthusiastic digital marketing. So from there, there's other things to consider. So maybe before you deploy customer engagement, you had an email or a contact form or something, and you had one person routing all the replies and responses, or you had somebody picking up the phone when people would call. But when you have more sophisticated apps, then maybe you need to change the way you work a little bit. If you want people, so that's why you consider how you want your customer engagement to be managed internally. If people are confirming appointments immediately, well, that implies something different than if you have to review their appointments and then confirm them. Maybe you want a little more security, or maybe you want to just be able to monitor all the appointments that come in a little more closely. Well, then that would be a great choice for you. You would want to also decide who's picking up the phone or who's live chat, who's operating the live chat that communicates with your customers. So for instance, even picking up the phone is a great case because you can choose which number connects to your free callback button, which means that if you're on the go, or if you're a business person that's not always in one place, well, you can just route that to your cell phone, and then those people can receive a free call and get you immediately versus a phone that might be in your office and you might not be able to pick up all the time or really respond to. So there's different ways to consider it, and we even think about it as this: if you're a solo entrepreneur and you don't have these problems of deciding which staff to distribute tasks to, well, then you want mobility, and that's why we've built a mobile app that includes pretty well all the functionalities you need from customer engagement right in your phone. And that's a really critical way of thinking for people who want to turn their online traffic into more paying customers, because opportunities don't wait for you. Opportunities don't sleep. They tend to surprise you and come up in places you don't expect. And that's sort of the objective here. That's what we think about, is you've made this investment to grow your business, to expand. Maybe you have a mission, or maybe you have a real hope and aspiration behind what you're doing. And it deserves to have the most made out of it. And that's really what customer engagement is meant to do. And anyway, I could go on for hours about the meaning and the fulfillment of this work, but that's pretty well it for this presentation. And thanks for your time. Becky, I hand it back to you, I guess.
Yeah. So thank you, Rob. That was a really good presentation. I hope you all found value in it. And then I just want to say, to close things out, that if you do have any questions, or you want to follow up with Rob about something he said during the presentation, his email is on the screen right now. It looks like it's robert@agendize.com, so feel free to email him, or you can call the number below. And then next slide, please.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have an email if you have any general questions about the webinar, or you have a topic suggestion for one of our next webinars, something that you'd like to learn about that you haven't heard, then please feel free to email us at info@marketingbitz.com, and we're happy to take your suggestions and your questions.